everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Anthony Gamer, and I am Humphrey the Wolf, and today we're going to discuss, by request, Touhou Project games. The world of Touhou Project is a mystical place created by Zune, the pen name of a Japanese writer and composer. Not only does he create the stories in the games, he also makes the music. That's correct. Now, at the beginning of the video, you saw the parts of the video for the song Bad Apple. That was a song that actually came off the soundtrack to one of the games, as he would release soundtracks with the game music on it. However, this particular version was actually released 10 years later. The track itself was remixed and recorded by Japanese pop singer Namiko. And the video itself became such a big hit that people from around the world were making their own videos of it using second and third generation game consoles and computers. That's right, I've seen versions of this made with everything from an Atari 2600 to an Intellivision, NES, even a graphing calculator. That's right. So that was a big trend in the last decade. Now, how many of those people actually knew about the game that it was based on is unknown, but for a while it was a great internet trend and definitely went viral. If you haven't seen these different versions of this video, I highly recommend you check them out on YouTube. It's amazing what some people can accomplish with old school technology. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the music, we're here to talk about the games. So let's learn a little bit about the backstory behind Touhou Project.
The Touhou Project world revolves around a fictional realm called Gensokyo, now which actually translates to mean Fantasy Village or Fantasy Land. This area was actually cut off from the rest of the world, and they're pretty much self-isolated and inaccessible. And so therefore the residents there were unable to leave. Now, the world itself is mostly a matriarchal society, as there are very few men at all in there. There also are several different types of species, magical creatures, like vampires, bore, tungu, mermaids, kappa, yokai, fairies, spirits, poltergeists, hermits, ani, and different types of gods that take female forms. So, what you are doing in this game is you are fighting off the forces of evil with one of the two main protagonists.
So let's learn a little bit now about the two protagonists from the game, Marisa and Rimu.
Okay, Rimu is the main protagonist. You can see her in this statue. She's the one with the dark hair. She is a Miko for the Hakuri Shrine. She also is a very powerful fighter. She's not really very sweet. She's kind of on the negative side. She's a very straightforward person, and she has no problem with destroying yokai. So this is definitely not someone you want to mess with. She's pretty much the definition of tough chick. Now, the blonde witch is named Marisa. She is best friends with Rimu. However, she mostly likes to keep to herself and study magic. Unlike Rimu, she wasn't born with abilities. She had to learn them, and she's quite proud of the fact that she enjoys hard work and that she's able to learn things on her own. Another interesting fact about her is she's an avid collector of just about anything she can get her hands on. And just like Rimu, she is definitely not someone to mess with. Now, the games themselves over years that were to come would be ported out to several different computers and game systems. However, the 5, and they are also the original ones we are going to talk about today, were released only for the NEC PC 9800, a short-lived computer from Japan.
Let me ask you, okay, first time you heard about this game series, Touhou Project, what kind of games did you think it would be? Just by looking at, some of the pictures of the characters and things like that. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a RPG game. Or perhaps one of those story games that they have in Japan, like on the Game Boy and things like that. The date simulator and all that. Would you guys believe, though, even though those are really good points, and many of you probably thought the same way, these were all shooter games. Really? Oh, I'll be darned. Yep. So, without further ado, let's get into the games.
And our first game for today is the highly responsive Two Prayers. This was released in 1997. Now, in this game, something has wrecked the Hakure Shrine, and the resident shrine maiden isn't going to take it lying down. She charges through the gateway into another world, intent on locating and punishing the one responsible for the act. Although she isn't capable of harming her enemies directly, she wields an incredible weapon, the Yin-Yang Orb. With it, Rimu will be able to cut a bloody sword through all who stand before her, assuming that she can manage to control it. Now, this first game isn't really, I would say, one of my favorites. It's a little lagging here, and really I'm not sure why that is. But it's not a bad start to what would be a really long-running game series. And the second game in the series is The Story of Eastern Wonderland. This was also released in 1997. In this one, Rimu has left the shrine for a moment, and when she comes back, she finds that it's overrun with ghosts and other evil things, and they have decided to make it their base. And so, Remy took Gainji and, as usual, the Hakuri Shrine's greatest treasure, the Yin-Yang Orbs, and set out to find the source of these troubles and exterminate it. This journey would lead them to strange places and to encounter with even stranger people. Now, the way that this game works is pretty much the way they do for the rest of the games in the series. It's high-paced, it's fast action, and it's pretty much a whole lot of fun. And the third game in the series is called Phantasmagoria of Dim Dream, and it was released in 1998. Now, in this particular game, there's a competition between Marisa and Rimu as to who can get the most points or get the furthest in this competition, and the winner will be able to go into a temple which is going to open, and that person will be able to have all their wishes granted. So this is kind of cool because you're going against either the computer or one of your friends. So this was the first game in the series that was a two-player game. And the fourth game in this series is called Lotus Land Story, and it was released in the summer of 1998. Now, in this one, you get to choose either Rimu or Marisa. Now, if you choose Rimu, she has a wide area of attack, but with weaker attacks. Now, Marisa, her attacks are narrower, but much, much faster. And you also get some cool new weapons like bombs and other things like that. The big difference with this game from the others is that there are more opportunities to get bonus points and unlock some pretty cool weapons to help you on the way. And the final game for today is Mystic Square. This was released in 1999. Now, this time, again, Sokyo has been overran by demons for some particular reason, and of course the Yukai also. So you have to choose one of the four witches to fight them. You have the choice, of course, of Rimu and Marisa, but you also have Yuka and Makai as well. So this one honestly has to be the best of the series in my opinion. The action is non-stop and it just includes the best elements of the four previous games and some. So if you really want an action-packed shooting game, this is the one to choose.
On an end note, there is a big following for the Touhou Project, not just in Japan, but worldwide as well. Matter of fact, they have conventions and have had so for many years, and this was the first year, 2020, that the convention didn't happen because of the worldwide pandemic. Also, another interesting thing to note is that even though the creator did make the music and the games, he also made some books and manga. However, it was the fans who created their own anime series. That's correct, and you can find those right here on YouTube. If you haven't seen them yet, I highly recommend it. And when you watch it, it's just great quality. It's hard to believe it was actually done by the fans.
In our next episode, we will be discussing the single most controversial prototype in gaming history, Thrill Kill. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to have someone help me out with this episode. I wonder who that could be.
Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of Classic Gamer 74. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give us a great big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to click that little bell icon down there so you'll be notified when I upload new episodes. Well, until next time, I am Anthony Gamer, and I am Humphrey the Wolf, and we will see you all in the next episode. Until then, be strong, be safe, be happy, be healthy, and above all, take care of each other and be kind to each other and look after your friends and family. That's correct. See you guys soon. Bye. Bye, everyone.